It's the Chicago Bears taking on the Detroit Lions.
Well, they say an early season snowstorm may be on deck in less than 48 hours, but today is picture-perfect fall football weather. Crisp and cool at Soldier Field in the Windy City. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9?
This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
So here are the Bears now for their opening drive.
They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Gotta like that start. 14 yards to get him going. Well, there you go. This a strong start this afternoon. First down, and it's Pollard again. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. First carry now for David Montgomery. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, this defense for the Lions, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you...
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes.
Vita Vea in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
He found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down. Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And they will be led out by the youngster, the rookie, their QB.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. Not been too many defenses have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Burns.
And this will wind up a Lions first down as he's able to get this up past the 40. The Lions at 7-1 now on the year. And they come in on the heels of yet another victory. That ran their win streak, Charles, up to 7 now.
And I think that last win, that established them and stamped them, to me, as Super Bowl front runners. They're playing with extreme confidence. And you need that in order to go all the way.
2nd down and 3.
They'll try the left side. Burns. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you used the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. Herron.
That's to Amon-Ra St. Brown.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. Operating from the gun, Herron. Touchdown!
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Lions get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game.
The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down. The rushing numbers for Pollard last week, he was, without a doubt, one of the catalysts in that victory.
And he can really be the glue that makes this offense go, because when defenders have to commit to stopping him, that just opens up more opportunities in the passing game.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Going to run again here with Pollard. And he stopped immediately there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields.
And that will be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. .43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and the Lions will take over. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive.
Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a 1st or a 2nd seed come playoff time.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down.
And he'll get a few yards here to the 34.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Running straight ahead, Taylor.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Looking to throw. Herron.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short, because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the 1st down.
Back to throw. Herron. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
I think you have to chalk that one up for the defense there. Someone right on the spot. Excellent coverage. Didn't leave him enough room to come down inbounds, even though he did catch the football.
Off play action. Herron rolling to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Escaping the pressure. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the ball is going to wind up out of bounds, so they will lose yardage, but they'll keep the football. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away.
Going to be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory.
The Chicago offense set to get started.
They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up the first down and change our momentum?
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. Great move by Montgomery. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
A shotgun snap, Fields.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Fields. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Chase Young
in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 38-yard line. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call. I'm just impressed he held on to that football. You're coming across the middle on the crossing route like that, absorb that contact. Whew.
All we talk about in today's football is trying to get the football away from the offensive player. Sometimes you just can't do that, and you have to finish a play off with a good old-fashioned tackle, as we just saw.
Taken down on the play by Aiden Hutchinson.
Nice job there. Defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
To throw is Fields.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Fields
sliding out of the pocket. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Blankenship's kick is good.
And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
So here are the Lions to take over. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 46. They run the counter. It's Burns. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their 1st-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Flush to his right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Operating from the gun, Herron.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner.
And the Bears will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a 1-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, Pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10
at their own 12-yard line.
Here's Fields.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Fields hit and the ball is loose.
And this is scooped up by the Lions. And into the end zone, a scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble, they get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. This one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp, and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now a throw here to his running back. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Got a man open, that's Devontae Parker complete. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Fields throw here taken in by Parker.
Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
From the 50, here's Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there. This afternoon.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw there complete to Mooney.
Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
On 3rd down, it's Pollard. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Now the punter, Sam Martin, called on to kick it away here. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with only 9 seconds remaining, with not much time, we'll see how they play this. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. The final shot before break. Herron. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And they will score a pick six for Bears touchdown. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead, not so fast. That pick six really changes the complexion, probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now, probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll start in Arrowhead. A big crowd on hand to see KC host the LA Chargers in an AFC West matchup. And it's the Chiefs who are out in front as they move towards halftime. Patrick Mahomes looking good. 2 touchdown passes. Next, we head down to Houston.
Halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the third quarter and continue this midseason contest. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. Phillips now from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates.
And he's closing in on that number that all running backs. Circle, beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
On 3rd and 2, Herron. Man open, it's St. Brown. He's got it. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Detroit. Alec Pierce with another touchdown, number 24 on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game.
Just a 4-play drive that time.
And it was capped off by a touchdown catch from Alec Pierce. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
43 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Pollard again. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
Here's Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Vita Vea picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
3rd and long. It's Fields.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Vita Vea drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Detroit's offense ready to take over. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Throwing on 1st down. Herron.
He's got his man. It's Pierce. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Operating from the gun, Herron. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, so much for getting separation. No chance there. Locked down tight, forcing the incompletion on that attempt.
Glad you're with us from Soldier Field in Chicago. Third quarter here, 2nd and 10.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And that's incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
On 4th down, Herron steps away to his left.
He's got this, complete to Williams.
And in for the Lions, touchdown.
Jamison Williams.
38 yards.
And the Lions' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Badgley on for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. So the drive there took 6 plays.
And it was Jamison Williams wrapping things up with a touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery.
And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance. Reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And Detroit getting set to go now.
And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
On first down, Herron. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Eddie Jackson picks it. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to 3rd down. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now it's Fields. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Oh, and this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. This is taken at about the 14. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this team continues to stake its claim as Super Bowl favorites. They are now eyeing an 8th straight win as they begin this drive here in the 4th quarter. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Off the play fake. Herron, he'll buy some time right. Pass complete downfield. It's Pierce. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Looking to throw. Herron. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Burns. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Back to throw. Herron. And that one going to be off target and incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. And obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some 1st downs, just as good as running the football. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Taylor will take this one in. It's a Lions touchdown. Just power football there, down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
Now Fields. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Miles Jack drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
4th down. Fields has to have this one. That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. We often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense, not just holding teams, but creating big plays for themselves.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
On the counter, it's Taylor. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 61 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Badgley's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over.
Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 24. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That's caught. It's Dan Arnold, the tight end.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Looking to throw again on second down. Fields. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. The Bears on 3rd down. A very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and... Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line. The Chicago offense set to get started. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Fields now to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, here's Fields. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over. So out now come the Lions. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the 4th. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's got this to Williams, complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Another touchdown through the air for them, and for this rookie quarterback at the helm, he has put them in a great position, Charles, to get the victory in this one.
He's absolutely taken charge. Every touchdown for them has come via his arm. 0 rushing touchdowns, no special teams, no defensive scores. All him throwing the football. He's in cruise control right now, and so is his team.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Onto the field now come the Bears. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you've mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the...
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Vita Vea, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Back to throw, Fields.
And throw right side complete to Parker. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Chicago. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad.
Detroit's offense ready to take over. And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Rolling to his right. He's got a man, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Herron. He's going to let it go again. He's got a man, complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Badgley on for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive.
And it was capped off by a touchdown catch from Alec Pierce.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. And one last throw here for Fields. And a high throw there as this is knocked away down to the ground and incomplete. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Lions, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Bears, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. They'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new...